Okay, this is part 2 for counting and permutations. In part 1, we talked about 5 friends went to the movie theaters and we had to figure out the total combinations that they could sit in their seats, the different orders. And what we discovered was that if we was to take the 5 and multiply it times the 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, we would get 120. And if you're unsure how we got those numbers, please go back and look at part 1 of the video. Now, what we call this is, if you notice here, 5 is being multiplied times every integer less than 5. So 4, 3, 2, and 1 are all integers less than 5. What we call this is we say that this is 5 factorial. It looks like 5 with an exclamation mark. So once again, if I had 5 factorial, we say that is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which equals 120. Another example would be if I had 3 factorial. Well, we'll take 3 and multiply it times every integer less than 3. So that's 3 times 2 times 1, which in this case is 6. 6 factorial would be 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which is 720. We have different problems. We're about to look at different examples. So, all right, what we're going to have is we're going to do 4 factorial times 2 factorial. Well, that's going to be parentheses 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 times 2 times 1, which will give us a total of 48. That's multiplying factorials. If we had, there's division of factorials, which is 5 factorial divided by 3 factorial. So that is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 over 3 times 2 times 1. Now, for those people, if you don't have a calculator, it's pretty straightforward. You can cancel things out. Since there's a 3 up top and a 3 on the bottom, they cancel. 2 up top, 2 on the bottom, they cancel. Right? You got the 1 up top and the 1 on the bottom, so they cancel as well. Which simply leaves me with 5 times 4 up top, which is 20. So 5 factorial over 3 factorial basically boils down to 5 times 4 because things cancel out. Let's take a look at 8 factorial over 2 factorial times 4 factorial. So what we will have is 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 all over 2 times 1 parentheses 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Now, you could do the exact same thing as you did there. I had a 4 here, 4, 3, and 3, 2, and 2, 1, and 1. And that will leave me with 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 over 2 times 1. And what you're going to end up with is 840. Now, you don't have to cancel things out. You can basically do all the multiplication up top, divided by all the multiplication from the bottom, and you still would have gotten 840. One more example. Let's do 2 factorial over 3 factorial over 4 factorial. So that's going to be 2 times 1. All right. Times 3 times 2 times 1. All over 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. That's what I was talking about. You could just go ahead and do all the calculations up top, and what you would get is 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 2 times 1 is 6. 4 times 3 is 12 times 2 is 24. So you would get 12 over 24, which is equal to 1/2. So you can do it that way. You don't have to cancel anything out. You could just do the calculations as you see them. All right, so this is how you do factorials.